Okay, today's video is going to be a real quick how to change your diff oil on your BMW. My car's got 57,000 on it. Yeah, I really don't know the history on it. It's probably never been changed. So I'm just going to do it. It's cheap insurance. I picked up 2 quarts of Mobil 1 75 90 weight oil. That's what it calls for. I already put both quarts into my fluid filler. This is basically a pressurized container, and then you just pump up the handle and it'll fill whatever. It'll move any kind of oil. I think it's made by Medivac. Yeah. Oh yeah, here you go. If you guys are interested in that tool or whatever, that's the part number, MV6400. I think it's kind of expensive. I've had this thing for many years. I'm not 100% sure what I paid for it, but I remember it being like kind of spendy. I've got a sore throat and sore chest and everything today, so if I sound a little hoarse or whatever, that's why. Yeah, I'm gonna get the BMW in, and yeah, we'll do a diff oil change on it. Got some Nelly going. It's just the radio. I'm feeling weak today. Not feeling good. Fucking sick again. Oh. I must be angry when I put this lift away. I kicked the arms all the way in. I don't know what you heard about me. Some guy on the YouTube, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, put a comment in one of my videos. He said, cheap Chinese lift. Fucking YouTube, man. These people, I don't know where these people come from, but they're fucking retarded. This lift is more expensive than a 2-post lift. It's probably one of the best scissor lifts you can get. And I had to go with this because I don't have the height for a 2-post. I would love a 2-post lift. If it wouldn't cost me $100 grand to reconfigure all this shit and put in like a couple of 2-post lifts, I would do it. I would in a heartbeat. This is the highest lift for my space, and I bought the best one you can buy. And some guy says, "Oh yeah, a cheap Chinese lift." Fucking retards, man. I don't know where these people come from. Some people just should have been swallowed. I mean, think about it. Fuck's sake. So I threw this car up in the air, right? I'm getting ready to change the diff oil. And I'm looking and I see the fill plug. I can't find the drain. I'm like, what the hell? So I'm looking, I'm like, there's no drain. I'm like, shit, I better look up the repair procedure. And they don't have a drain plug in them. So what you got to do is you have to suck the old oil out before you put your new oil in, which is kind of silly. I mean, how hard would it be to put a drain plug in this thing? But oh, the joys. But I'll show you guys that. So let me orientate you a little bit. So here's the back of your car. You're coming in. So here's your diff. Here's your half shafts, right? Half shaft, half shaft. Here's your rear diff cover, rear diff, pinion, or pinion. I think there's a yoke there. Yeah, there is. There's a big rubber yoke there. So here's your. I'm not looking at the camera. Hopefully I'm doing this right. So here's your fill plug. Looks like a, I don't know, 18 mil Allen key, 14, 18, something pretty big. There's no, as you can see, there's no way to there's nowhere to drain the oil. Yeah, if you pull this out, nothing's gonna happen, right? So yeah, that's, for me, no big deal. I have an extractor tool, air powered. I'm just gonna pull the plug, put it in, turn on my compressor, turn it on, and it'll suck it all out, right? No big deal. But if you were a home gamer, or you didn't have a lift, say you kept roll under here with an extractor or whatever, that'd be kind of a pain in the dick. You could get one of them hand pump things from I don't know, Advanced Auto or AutoZone. I'm sure they all sell them, and then just flip it so that it's doing the suctions on the diff side. But I don't know if you'd get it all. My extractor's got several different attachments. I can go in and fish my way around the bottom of the diff and get every last freaking drop out of there. But if you didn't have that, and that's $100 and something tool, plus you need a compressor and all that stuff. So if you're doing this at home by yourself or whatever, hit the brakes there and make sure you have a way to, extract the oil out of the diff before you go pumping in your new oil. You could measure it. I mean, if you do get it pumping out, I mean, you could measure what you get out of it, and compare to what should be in it, and then you'll know if how much you got versus how much you're mixing with old oil. So just keep that in mind. I didn't even look this thing up. I just looked up what type of oil it took. I went and got it. I did not look up the procedure until I came under here and couldn't find a drain plug. So yeah, keep that in mind. You're gonna need some way of extracting this out. Had I known that, and shame on me, I should have looked it up. But had I known that prior to putting this car up on my lift and everything, I would have taken it for a drive and warmed up that rear diff. I would have driven for like 20 minutes just to get that diff oil nice and hot, so that it'll come out pretty easy in the extractor. It's not a huge deal for me. It's just going to take a little bit longer to get it all out. No big deal. It's no big deal. I've got different sizes of hoses for my extractor, so I'll put a larger one on there and it'll suck it right out. It just might take an extra 2 or 3 minutes. Who cares? But if you're at home and you're using that like a hand pump or whatever, drive the piss out of your car, get that super hot. But then obviously that comes with issues. Your exhaust is right here. If you're on your driveway, your car has to be level. Yeah, you could get burnt and stuff. And just use your mind there. But yeah, so this is going to be a little different video than I thought, but no big deal. I'm going to grab my extractor. We'll pull out that fill plug. We'll suck the oil out of it, and then we'll pump the new oil in. Done. So a little different than just a regular old spill and fill. And I've got a ton of lights under here, so hopefully that's probably what all them shadows are. But hopefully that works. I've got multiple floodlights to try and get this to work so you guys can see. So hopefully you guys can see there. I got my extractor tool. Whoa. There you guys are all zoomed in. I've got you zoomed in on the fill plug for this. I am going to grab a little basin in case this drips. That way I don't have to clean my floor. And I did grab a socket for this. It's a 14 mil. So grab yourself a 14 mil hex. That's what that looks like. These are tightened to 66 Newton meters, which is 44 foot-pounds. So this is going to be, it's going to take a little effort to get it out. That's why I grabbed a 24-inch, half-inch ratchet. This thing's huge. Has lots of leverage. But once you crack it, you should be fine. and really nothing should come out of here. If anything, a drip or two. And yeah, nothing. No magnet in the fill plug. Yeah, that oil's pretty black. My fingers were clean there, so that's just what came off the back of the fill plug. So yeah, I'm glad we're changing this. I mean, it's not. I've seen a hell of a lot worse. It's not too bad, but still, it's worth doing. Here, I'll give you a better look at my extractor tool. This is also made by Midivac. You can get these in a couple of different variations. There's one that has a manual hand pump on the side, and you can just pump it up and it'll build a suction pressure, and you can use it to suck stuff out. You know, it's fine. They seem to work quite well. I spent a little extra and just got the one that's air powered because I've got a fairly large compressor there, so it's, you know, it's pretty easy. Just hook air into it and off you go. So it's just easier. The hose that's on this, it looks like my medium one, which is fine. That should be totally fine for gear oil. So basically all you do is plug your air into it, and then it's got a little lever on it so you can turn the suction on and off. So I'm gonna do that now and we'll suck the oil out. So yeah, that's all you gotta do. It's got suction on it, and that's the noise it makes. So, yeah. I don't know if you can see this hose. You'll see it start to change color. Hopefully you can see that. I can't see very much with those lights. But yeah, that's it. I'm just going to jam this all the way in, and yeah, I mean that's it. Give you guys another quick top tip. So the main part of this rear diff, like the biggest galley, I guess, would be all the way at the back. So what you can do, the hoses that come with these Midivacs they're pretty tight. They're hard to bend. So what you can do is just get a little bit of fuel hose, slide it over the end, and then you can just bend it in there to get the last little bit out of the bottom of the diff. That's what I'm doing. So you know, I spent a few minutes there just moving this, like each side of the pinion, and you know, normally if you've ever seen like inside of a diff, there'll be like a little galley cut in somewhere where it just holds maybe like a teaspoon of oil. I find that galley. I got the oil out of there too. So yeah, I've been each front, back, left, right. I've been all over the floor of that diff, and I've gotten everything out of it. And there's there's nothing else coming out of it. So. And it looks to be, right about a quart that came out of it. So yeah, that's what I read online, a little over a quart. I did just get 2 quarts to be safe. You know, you don't want to be running back and forth to the store and stuff. So that would be kind of hard to do with a hand pump. You're never going to get it. You're never going to get all of it like that with a hand pump, or at least it'd be very difficult. So if you're doing this, unfortunately, you might need some specialized tools, or maybe go use it as an excuse to buy some tools if you're a tool junkie like me. So yeah, that's it. It's completely drained. There's nothing. You stick your face. It's completely dry, right? So I'm just gonna stick a quart of gear oil back in there until it starts to run out. I think the oil that's in this line was from, what was it? The Corvette. I think it's the Corvette diff oil, which had an additive in it. So I might pump a little bit of this out of the line first, and then we'll put it up in there. I think it's the same weight. It's just got a friction modifier in it, which wouldn't hurt. You can put friction modifier gear oil in a non-limited slip diff. You just can't do it the other way around, because you destroy your clutch packs. I think that friction modifier has a little acid in it too, or something like that for the clutch packs. I can't quite remember. I looked it up one time. So that's got 18 psi in it. Let me get one of them old bottles. Let's make a mess. So we're just gonna pump some through this line. And that's what I like about this tool. You can just, when you're ready, just flick the switch and off you go. So, and here comes new gear oil. There we go, done. So we completely purged our line. yeah, so now all you do is, you know, stick it in the hole, and flip your switch. That's it. You're pumping your diff full of gear oil again. This is definitely, again, a lot easier than using them hand pump things. And I did use those hand pumps for a long time, so trust me, I know. It's what prompted me to spend the money on this thing. I'll show you the front of it again, this part number, in case you're looking for it. But yeah, so it should, there's 2 quarts in it right now, so about half of that should fill this. Have a little basin ready for when it starts to drip out. But yeah, it's by far the easiest way to fill a rear diff. They design them bottles, you can cut them and squeeze them, and trust me, you're gonna make a mess. This is the way to go. I should look up to see what I paid for that, because I've used it in a couple of videos and I can never remember. That's got about half a quart in so far. I'm just gonna pump it up to about 20 psi. Gear oil, yeah, it's so thick. It's like 18, 19. There we go, 20 psi. We'll pump it through. And if you're using this with like ATF, it'll fire a quart of ATF through it in like 30 seconds. Oh, here we go. Hopefully you guys can see, or at least hear. Can you see this dripping out here? I don't know. I don't know what you guys can see, but depressurize that. I'll take you guys over and show you what this looks like, in case you're doing it yourself. So you just, fill it up till that happens. And yeah, make sure you have a little bucket ready. That's what you want to see. When you get them drips coming out like that, that's it. You're done. That has a washer built into it, like a crush washer. That's why I didn't put any of that shellac stuff on it, because it doesn't need it. But if you watch that Corvette video, that needed it. Alright. We need 44 foot-pounds, or 66 Newton meters. So let's go get a torque wrench. Alright, what do we got? Foot-pounds. We'll just leave it there and go to 44. 40. Oh jeez, I went way past it. Stupid torque wrench. I hate this torque wrench. If anybody wants to send me a fucking better half-inch torque wrench, snap on. Feel free to fucking contact me, because this thing, it's a pain in the dick. I've thought about buying that snap-on one. I mean, it's $500, but I don't know. It's not like the tow truck guy doesn't come here, so I'd have to buy it online. I don't know. Oh. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that. Oh, I missed it. It was 43. Close enough. But yeah, that's it. I mean, that's all there is to it. Clean up your mess, and you're done. So yeah, that old gear oil, it wasn't bad. It's a little brined. It could have easily went to the whatever 100,000. I think is the recommendation. Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I'm not quite sure. what the recommended intervals is. And it's not like you're doing any towing or anything with that thing, right? So you can easily do it every 50K or 70K or something. But yeah, oh, sneak peek. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen, yeah, pictures of this thing. I painted it today, and I painted it the color of this car only because that's the paint I had. Like, I wasn't gonna go buy special paint for it. So yeah, I'm new to Instagram. I just got on there 4 or 5 days ago. I'm like hooked on it. I keep taking pictures and uploading them to the feed, which is different from your story. So I'm not quite sure what the difference is. There's your story, and then there's the feed. I can't quite figure out what I should Google it, see what the difference is. I'm not quite sure why there's two different things there. So anyway, that's how you do your diff oil on your 335i, even when you're sick. Sick like me. I got a chest thing going on, and I got a big, deep, sexy voice. But it's a real easy job. Unfortunately, it's not a spill and fill. You have to have some kind of extractor if you're doing it. So yeah, definitely keep that in mind. I did look up the repair information. There's no break-in period. There's no, you know, take it out in the parking lot and do figure eights. There's none of that stuff. Basically, fill it back up, give her the beans. I'd go a little easy on it for, 50 miles. Like no drifting or anything. But after that, have at it. You'll be good to go. The one thing they did say is check it after 2 days of driving. So average person, a couple days driving, about 100 miles, give or take. So they want you to recheck it after approximately 100 miles. And that was the only other piece of repair info that I saw. That's it. I'm going to get this thing down and get my truck back in here and go get something to eat. I'm hungry.